U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24 is brought to you by U.S. Cellular, in the middle of anywhere. Northwest Surgery Center, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Menards, and by the Big 920. Additional support has been provided by the U.S. Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, Sweetwater, Gruber Law Offices, and Bryant and Stratton College Athletics.
Falcon Field in the west side of Greenfield, if you will.
Greenfield,
Yes, sir. Whitnall High School, Greenfield, Wisconsin. A Woodland Conference East battle tonight between the Whitnall Falcons and the Greenfield Hawks. John Weiser and Terry Kelly up in the booth. We'll have Kara and Mike McGivern down on the sideline. And big ball game tonight. Whitnall going for an undefeated season, and they've got to win their next two to get to that conference championship game.
Right. Getting themselves prepped to meet in the crossover games for the championship and then all the way down.
Greenfield has won the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so Whitnall will get the football. So let's look to our keys to the game tonight. First for Greenfield.
Well, Greenfield feels they need to get off to a fast start. They also have to control the clock with their running game. Coach Ringelberg says they have to play with more passion and energy. They feel that's cost them 2 recent games.
For the Falcons tonight, what do they need to do?
They have to make their platooning play off. They only have one player that goes both ways as opposed to Greenfield. They also have to make sure their sophomores on defense continue to develop. They've got 5 sophomores starting on D, and then they have to, offensive and defensive lines are going to be tested. These are 2 big, tough lines facing each other. Whitnall needs to come through.
Again, a reminder that U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Northwest Surgery Center, available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com and click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. And don't forget, tonight's game will be rebroadcast this Sunday evening at 7 right here on My24. Whitnall in the gold, Greenfield in the white tonight. Andy Molman in the middle of the 3-back set, looking to receive this kickoff to get our game going tonight. Connor Pinot has it teed up, and it falls off the tee at the 40-yard line. They're going to re-tee it.
Wind isn't real strong tonight, no. But just enough to disrupt things.
Actually, it's a beautiful night tonight compared to last week. The humidity way down tonight. We're going to have temperatures in the 50s throughout the evening with a very light breeze.
Wonderful night for a game.
Pinot's run up. And it'll be taken by the short man across the 20, 25, 30. He will take it across midfield. Has one man to beat. Pulled down from behind. Great return. Stefan Flores, the senior, on senior night, gives the Falcons good field position across the Greenfield 40-yard line for this first offensive set.
Well, Flores was a first-team all-conference receiver last year, so he's got the speed, handles the ball well.
Jake Flores will start at quarterback tonight, a 5'9 senior. Honorable mention all-conference a year ago. Coach Quinlan nicknames him the Igniter.
Yes.
They'll work from the pistol. Little read option, pass option here. Going to get it away and nearly completes the pass as it goes in and out of the hands of the intended receiver here on the near side, Adam Pelkoffer.
Defensive back made a big breakup right there on that play.
We're going to see a lot of that tonight, the run-pass option out of Flores, the quarterback. So the incomplete pass sets up 2nd down and 10. They'll go 2 receivers to the right, single back in the backfield with a wing to the right side. Flores on the option will keep and runs right into the heart of that front line as Jonas Woods, the defensive lineman, the senior, a two-way player for Greenfield, able to step up and make the stop for no gain.
Tyler Hansen from his inside linebacker position also flowed very well. That's a big front four they've got going for Greenfield.
Well, critical third down on this first drive for Whitnall. 3rd and 10 after the nice kickoff return by Stefan Flores. Dan Alexopoulos will split out to the right side. Single receiver drawing single coverage. 3rd and 10 for the Falcons. Flores in motion, and we got a flag from the back judge, a delay of game.
Delay of game. A little too much time.
You have a dead ball. Delay of game,
sideline
offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
3rd and 15 for the Falcons. We'll back them up to the 42-yard line.
Well, we mentioned that front four for Greenfield. They go 270, 280, 300, and then they've got a young man, Mr. Babcock, who obviously doesn't get to eat lunch with those other guys. He only weighs 200 pounds, Austin Babcock.
Late to lunch is what you're saying, huh?
Or they've taken it away from him.
3rd and 15 for the Falcons at the Greenfield 42-yard line. Flores under pressure. Takes it upfield. Inside the 30, close to a first down. It'll depend on the mark here. See where they'll mark it. It looks like he's going to be about a yard shy. Jacob Flores on the keep that time around the right side.
Yeah, Jacob Flores, this is his real forte. Not only a strong passer, but he can tuck that ball and run well.
So 4th in a yard. Falcons will go for it here. Alexopoulos in a slot here to the near side on 4th and 1. Prom the tight end in a shuffle motion. They will hand it off. Big hole over the right side. 1st down and more. Inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 9 and a 1st down. Tyler Hansen able to bring him down, but not before the Falcons get our initial 1st down. And our 1st downs this quarter brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Andrew Malman, runs a lot bigger than he is. He's 190 pounds. He's only gotten to play in really 4 of the games so far this year, and he's already rushed for over 700 yards.
From the 19, 1st and 10, Whitnall opening possession here this first quarter. Again, Prom in a shuffle motion right. Late option, they'll give it. Malman trying to get around the left side, and he's going to get it down to about the 17-yard line for a pickup of about 2. There to make the stop, Dennis Boyko. Boyko lost his lid. He'll have to sit out one play here as the helmet comes off.
And Boyko's one of the many Greenfield players who's going both ways, and we talked as keys to the game, whether that will be a factor.
So Boyko off the field for one play, losing his helmet. 2nd down and 8 for Whitnall. Stefan Flores along with Alexopoulos to the right side. Flores in motion. They will hand it off. Malman up the middle inside the 15 down to about the 14-yard line. It was a Derek Bunzel there to make the stop, the outside linebacker.
Yeah, he ran over left guard. They've got Luke Merritt there. He's an honorable mention all-conference player a year ago. And one of the things we noticed, John, this is the first time this year we've had a team have a unit all seniors. And Whitnall's got all seniors out there right now.
They'll go for a receiver look here. Double slot. Prom in the slot to the left side. Flores in a slot to the right. Flores wants to throw on the slant to Flores and the 5. Touchdown, Whitnall. Jake off to Stefan. And Whitnall off to a fast start, takes advantage of the kickoff return, converts on 4th down to take the early lead.
And the key to that was Flores' scramble on 3rd down, getting all but a yard back.
One more look at the touchdown pass on a quick slant. Stefan Flores his second touchdown catch of the year. Let's kick to the uprights, and it is good. 7-0 Whitnall. 3.5 minutes into our contest, and again taking advantage of the kickoff return by Stefan Flores and converting on 4th down.
And Sam Tutt, the kicker, just put that through. That's his 24th out of 25 extra points this year. He's also kicked 3 field goals, so that can be a real weapon for Whitnall moving forward.
So the Falcons needed to get off to a quick start tonight. We talked to Coach Quinlan. He was concerned. He wanted to make sure they got something in, get the crowd into this early.
And Coach Ringelberg was a little worried. He said, we've had a problem playing with passion and fire beginning of the game. He felt it really cost him against Milwaukee Lutheran.
One more look at the touchdown. It's on a quick slant. He was lined up in a slot to the right side, made the quick slant. 7-play, 37-yard drive for the Falcons. Fauché and Boyko do the kick return and punt returns for Greenfield.
He mentioned talking with the coaches before the game that in their game with Milwaukee Lutheran, they didn't have Boyko for a portion of the game and felt that really hurt their offensive production.
Tutt's kick. Low line drive. Out across the 20. Cuts it to the outside 30, 35, 40. Far sideline and knocked out of bounds is Boyko, short of midfield. A good return for the Hawks. Run out by Colin Bennett. And so Greenfield with good field position to open up their first drive tonight.
Yeah, they've returned the favor in terms of taking advantage of that kickoff.
So 1st and 10 Greenfield. Omarion Bartlett, the quarterback, a sophomore, 5'10", 160. He'll work from the pistol with the I formation. High snap, ball loose, and Bartlett able to cover it up back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play on the bad snap. Joe Tilley able to cover him up. So a loss of 7, 2nd and 17 for Greenfield. There you see Coach Ringelberg, the third coach in the last 3 seasons here at Greenfield.
Right, but he feels that the team is starting to recognize how much this coaching staff cares about him. They're starting to come together.
3 receivers to the right side here for Greenfield. Bartlett wants to swing it out in the hands of Fauché, and he dropped it. Incomplete is the ruling. Or they rule it a backward pass. They must have ruled it a backward pass because they continued the play. I thought I saw the referee in the backfield signal was incomplete.
And I'm not sure Whitnall knew exactly what was going on, but to their credit, they kept playing. They didn't just stop.
It'd be a loss back to the 35-yard line. Loss of 5, 3rd and 22 for Greenfield. Again, good rush up front that time. Anthony Vakula able to get there. Forced that pass by Bartlett to go a little higher than he wanted. He got trips left side here on 3rd and 22. Now mix up on the handoff. Bartlett's going to keep it. Bartlett across the 35 to 40 and short of the 45-yard line, well short of the first down on the busted play. Omarion Bartlett, the sophomore quarterback, brought down by Joe Tilley, the outside linebacker.
Yeah, that combination of that bad snap on that first play as well as that pass that was bobbled or incomplete, we're not sure, really hurt Greenfield.
Perez and Flores are the punt returners for Whitnall. High snap on the punt. Gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and made at the 25-yard line. That'll take us to our commercial break. 7-0 Whitnall. They score in their opening drive number 2, and we come back on My 24. Falcons score on their opening drive. They get the ball back after shutting down Greenfield on their opening possession. 5:51 to go here in the first quarter from Falcon Field, Whitnall High School tonight. Jake Flores, the quarterback, senior. Threw the touchdown pass to Stefan Flores. To cap off that drive. Had a nice run on third down. Got them into a manageable fourth and less than a yard that they were able to convert. Stefan Flores in motion. They'll hand it off to Malman. Malman going up the middle. Not much there. A very stout Greenfield front four that time. Tyler Hansen in there on the stop.
Now that last set, you can see they're trying to set themselves up to be able to run an option series out of that.
Gain of 1, second down 9, ball at the 26-yard line. Two receiver look to the right. They'll run the option. Flores will keep it, tries to cut it at the hash mark, gets it across the 30 out to the 32-yard line, wrestled down by Boyko. Be short of the first down to set up a manageable third down as we look at the option play here by Jake Flores.
Right, they probably should have had him initially right behind the line, but Boyko stayed with the play, made the stop.
Third and 3 from the 32. They'll put Flores and Alexopoulos out there now. Whitnall, a little confusion, so they'll take the timeout. So timeout taken by Whitnall, their first of the half. 4.5 minutes to go here in this first quarter. A 7-0 Whitnall lead.
Yeah. So far they haven't been able to get the ball to Dan Alexopoulos, their excellent receiver.
Let's head down to Kara.
Thank you very much, guys. I have Scott Olson, the sports information coordinator at Bryant Stratton College, down here with me. And you guys have been putting sports into full throttle. But what can we expect from men's and women's basketball this season?
Yep, so our men's and women's basketball teams start their games November 1st, and then they practice coming Monday, October 1st, and they play their home games at Mount Mary University.
And where can people go for more information?
So you can visit our website at bscbobcats.com, and under the schedules tab, you'll see their schedules.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and back to you guys.
All right, Kara, thank you so much. Falcons with the timeout, 4.5 minutes to go, leading 7-0, facing down a third and a long 3 here from their own 32-yard line. Stefan Flores in motion to the right. Jake Flores wants to throw a pump fake. Still on his feet, and is just going to get rid of it and throw it away. As he was leveled on the play, Sam Wolfgram coming into his face that time, and Jake Flores a little slow getting up. So it brings up 4th and 3 from the 32, and the Falcons will punt for the first time tonight.
Yeah, that was a stop that Greenfield needed. They talked about wanting to be able to control the clock, so they needed to get the ball.
So this will be Davies into punt. Averaging about 42 yards a kick. He's dropped 2 inside the 20 this year. Low snap. A line drive. They will let bounce. Fauché will let it roll inside the 25. It'll roll dead at the 21-yard line. 47 yards with the roll, and so Greenfield will take over at their own 21-yard line. Let's head down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
So, boys, listen to the coaches here at on the Whitnall sideline. Their defensive coach said, boys, just stay in your lane, continue to play the way we're playing. Felt pretty good about the first series. Offensive line coach not happy. Said, boys, we're standing straight up. Make sure we're driving through these guys. We can wear them out. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you. Stay tuned. At the end of the game, we will highlight our player of the game tonight, brought to you by the United States Army, Army Strong. Second possession for Greenfield. And Bartlett will hand it off. Able to stop Boyko almost dead in his tracks. Davies, who just did the punting, able to step up and make the play defensively for the Falcons.
Jacob Klatkowitz also in there on that tackle. Last year he had, almost 80 tackles.
Boyko, senior, 346 yards on the year. And again, he's missed a couple of ball games. Trips to the right side here on 2nd down and 9. Bartlett wants to throw, going to the single receiver far side, completes it far side. This is Rosario with the catch. Out near the 30-yard line, going to be short of the first down. Brought down by the secondary that time. Looks like Miller might have gotten out there, make that play. Pete Miller, the senior, 4 interceptions on the year already for Miller.
Right, Coach Quinlan feels that he's the key to their defensive backfield. Defensive coordinator Cody Smith says they really depend on Peter to coordinate everything back there.
3rd and short for Greenfield. 3rd and about 2 at their own 29-yard line. And movement up front. We got a false start penalty. Zach Fauché moving before the snap. It takes him out of 3rd and short, makes it a 3rd and long.
Offensive coordinator Mark Chimera, was echoing the ideas of Keith Ringelberg. They wanted to be able to run the ball. They've got an offensive line that averages about 250 a man going straight across, and they wanted to control the clock and run the ball.
This will set up a 3rd and 7 for Greenfield. And they'll put trips to the right side of the formation here. Bartlett will work from the pistol, the sophomore quarterback. Under pressure. Lost the football. It's loose at the 20-yard line. They're still scrumming for the ball inside the 20.
I believe it was Ben Dryden a few years ago. They're giving him the business underneath. See who comes up with the ball.
A lot of gold shirts there, but looks like Greenfield somehow came up with that football. Credit Travis Seidler, able to get in there. So we'd look again here. Just poked that football away. Might have been Jonas Woods who eventually got back on that football. So Greenfield, after the penalty and the fumble, will have to punt. Again, it's a low snap. Now under pressure. And he's going to run it out. And he's got some room down the left side. He'll get the first down and more. Out across the 40, 45-yard line. And that's where they will stack him up. 33-yard run on the muffed snap back to the punter. Zach Fauché able to scramble and get the first down. Huge break for the Hawks. We'll take one more look. Again, it looked like maybe Whitnall had the return set up here to the near side, the left side of the formation.
Yeah, so they had no contain left to the right.
So Greenfield keeps possession on the heads-up play by Fauché, doing the punting tonight. Just over a minute to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Whitnall. Trips here to the near side on 1st and 10. Bartlett with time. Going over the middle, completes down to the 30-yard line. Beautiful catch. Elijah Rosario, the junior, able to make the catch right in front of Miller. It'll be a huge gain down to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 22 and a first down.
Yeah, Rosario's 10th catch of the season. Also plays basketball and baseball.
Another Gruber Law Offices first down. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Greenfield trying to cash in on the 30-yard scramble on the punt. Marion Bartlett, sophomore quarterback, will hand it off. This is Boyko going over left side, inside the 30, driven back at the 28-yard line. Zach Poliska, the senior, able to come up the nose guard, make the stop.
And that 3-3 defense of Whitnall has been very stout so far against the run, doing a good job.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. It looks like Greenfield will take this out down to the quarter. First quarter in the books here at Whitnall Falcon Field. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Whitnall on top of Greenfield, 7-0 on My 24. Second quarter set to start here in Whitnall High School. Falcons lead it by a score of 7-0. Greenfield trying to capitalize on the punt scramble that time by Fauché. They face a 2nd and 9 going right to left. And Bartlett wants to air it out. Has a man out there. Can't run under it. It's incomplete. Looking for Fauché again on just a fly route down the sideline.
And I don't know if the corner thought he had some help coming over the top, but he kind of slowed up covering that man.
So 3rd and 9. Before we get there, let's head down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
Guys, listen to the quarterback here at Whitnall. He's asking his coaches, get the play in a little bit quicker so I can make some adjustments. Get it a little quicker. Let's try to get Malman the ball a little bit more. Might see him getting the ball, get lathered up here.
Yeah, they had some issues Monday when we were at practice running this offense that they installed for this game, trying to get those plays in a little bit quicker. They were having some confusion on it. We'll keep an eye on it as soon as Whitnall gets the ball back. 3rd and 9 for Greenfield. Bartlett going to go back over the middle. High throw. It's nearly picked. It's incomplete. A double deflection that time and almost another pick for that Falcons secondary.
And I've got the feeling that more than likely Greenfield's going to go for this. Just
went
missed
through
connection.
Petrusky and off the defender. So let's see what Greenfield does here on 4th down. Marion Bartlett will remain in there, so they will go for it here.
Well, one of the things we asked Coach Ringelberg, what's your play you might go to? And he gave us 2 options. You might see him run about a 10-yard comeback, or we might see him run a wheel pattern. Those are the 2 plays they feel give them a good shot going downfield.
Trips to the right side, single receiver near side, single back, and we've got a whistle before the snap. I believe Greenfield will take a timeout. Greenfield will take their first timeout, each team with 2 timeouts remaining. I think Falcons sensing that too. I don't know if they were ready. I think they saw the trip formation, thinking the same thing you were, Coach, maybe that wheel route with the middle receiver circling outside.
Right, have that inside man go all the way out after you have 2 guys run slants. Makes a real definite.
We mentioned this a big ball game here. Whitnall coming in at 5-0. We know they're going to win the East Division of the Woodland Conference, but Greenfield playing for some seeding here because you look at the Woodland West. Right now the matchup would be Whitnall and Berlin-Eisenhower in 2 weeks, a game which we will have here on My 24. But that second place game could be Greenfield and Greendale for a second time this year.
Right, and I don't know what they have as all the tiebreakers for this.
Let's head down to the sideline and Kara.
Thank you very much. I have Amy Burke, the Media Relations Director with Salvation Army, down here with me, who already admitted that she's usually in my shoes, but now it's nice to be on the other side. You guys have a book drive going on. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, we are here collecting books for our annual toy shop, and our goal is to collect at least 10,000 books for children in need throughout Milwaukee County by December.
When you guys are always doing something so great in the community, so we certainly appreciate it, and of course for joining us for Thursday Night Lights.
Thank you for having us.
And back to the game.
Now there's that comeback route we talked about. They got it out to Fauché on that far sideline inside the 20 will convert the first down. And again, our first downs in the second quarter brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College Athletics.
I think
there is a penalty marker down.
DB was given a little too much cushion there that time. He had help over the top, so he could have pressed that.
We have a face mask on the tackle. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So the 5-yard face mask penalty on the tackle as Fauché was going down will add to the yardage here. One more look here on that comeback route. Fauché did a nice job selling that as just a simple go down the numerals, and then circled back, came right back, helped his quarterback out to clear some space. So this will mark it at the 10, just inside the 10. So this will be a 1st and goal for Greenfield, trailing 7-0. Trips here to the near side. Single back is Boyko. Bartlett over the middle, high and incomplete. Looking for Rosario that time on a little skinny post route. Tilley out there, the outside linebacker, on the coverage.
You know, one of the things Whitnall talked about is in that front three for them, they have 2 sophomores starting, and they were worried, are they going to be able to match up well with this Greenfield offensive line?
Second and goal from the 10. Again, trips to the near side, single receiver right. Boyko the single back in the backfield. Bartlett again wants to throw. Now we'll scramble it upfield. Breaks 2 tackles to the 5. Moving the pile forward, and he is going to be stopped short. About a half-yard shy of the goal line. In there to make the stop for Whitnall. Looked like wrestled him down was Adam Pelkoff for the safety. Finally got in there. Broke 2 different tackles through the line of scrimmage. So this will be 3rd and goal from just inside the 1.
Now, much like his brother Rayvon last year, also a very strong runner, Omarion was able to scramble and get down to the goal line.
Rosario, single receiver to the right. Double tight end look, and we got a penalty marker before the snap. Wonder if we lined up in the neutral zone here by Whitnall.
We have dead ball, encroachment, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Greenfield lined up in the neutral zone. That's tough to do, Coach, on offense.
Those are things that drive coaches mad. You know, you've gotten yourself down to the goal line. Now you've got to think about a little different play call here on 3rd down.
This game has gone to the birds tonight already. We got the Hawks and the Falcons.
Oh.
Hey,
I have no comeback. I have no comeback.
You sit the bench long enough like I did back in high school, you come up with these things. 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. They'll go trips here to the right side. Single back is Boyko. Bartlett from the pistol. Movement up front. No marker down. Bartlett being chased. Cuts it back at the hash mark. Fighting his way forward. Did not get in. Be 4th and less than a yard here for the Hawks. Good stop by the secondary once again. Linebacking core able to step up. So 4th and goal from inside the 1. They'll work it off the right hash mark. There you get a look at Keith Ringelberg, the head coach for Greenfield. They've already taken a timeout on this drive. Greenfield taking a long time in the huddle here. They'll take their 2nd timeout of this drive. They have 1 remaining.
They hadn't even sent the play in, so it says very, very much that they were going to take this timeout.
This week on Faith in the Zone, Josh Holden, former West Point multi-sport athlete in football and baseball, will join Mike McGivern and Pastor Ken Keltner to discuss his faith and how it has affected his life professionally and personally. Faith in the Zone, Sunday at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. only on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. Falcon Field, Whitnall High School. Team that's quietly on the rise here, this Whitnall team, 6-0, getting some votes in the Division III coaches poll this week, up to number 4, I believe, this week.
Well, John Quinlan was pressed into service late last year in the season. Their coach left right at the end of the summer, and suddenly John was thrust in the position. They only had 7 seniors last year. This year he's got a group of 24 with whom he's very pleased.
Well, Coach Ringelberg had the entire offense in that huddle. Let's see what he drew up here on 4th and 1. 4th and goal from the 1. Just a simple quarterback draw. He'll get it in for the touchdown. Omarion Bartlett with his second rushing touchdown of the year. Safe call.
They had a very good surge there, but the other thing is Whitnall seemed to have an alignment that was off a little bit on the left side of Greenfield's offensive line.
So an extra point away from tying this ball game up. Connor Pinot. Streeter on the hold. Splits the uprights. 3 minutes into our second quarter, Greenfield converts on a couple of 4th downs on this drive, and they go from 4th and goal inside the 1, the Bartlett quarterback keep.
Yeah, Omarion Bartlett really made that drive successful for Greenfield and got them right back into the game.
A 13-play, 79-yard drive that took nearly 7 minutes off the game clock tonight.
That's living up to one of the keys to the game that Coach Ringelberg gave us, that they needed to control the ball, run clock.
Miguel Perez and Stefan Flores, along with Malman, the deep men here for Whitnall. Bartlett on the bench, getting a breather. They're leading his team to the game-tying touchdown here early in this second quarter.
Well, Greenfield had felt that Omarion was really coming on. They mentioned last week he was 12 for 14 passing, coming more comfortable running the offense.
Pinot tees it up middle of the field at the 40-yard line. This will be taken here on the wing by Perez. Across the 30, breaks it outside. Perez with the kicker to beat. Perez down the near sideline and out of bounds. Across the Greenfield 30-yard line. Another nice return, this time by Miguel Perez, the junior.
Yeah, the second excellent return they've had. See if it has that same result for Whitnall, getting a score.
Nice job on the cutback to his right. That's what set that one up. Got ushered out that time by Derek Bunzel, reserve linebacker for Greenfield. So the Falcons get a short field here at the Greenfield 29-yard line. Flores will hand it off. Malman cuts it back at the hash mark inside the 25, down to the 24-yard line. Bunzel there to make the tackle for Greenfield.
Well, at 5'10", 190, has a nice low center of gravity, runs with his shoulders down and good quick feet.
Able to break that initial tackle attempt that time. Jalen Cross had him up high, but going to take a lot more to bring Malman down. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Malman again. Malman trying to cut it outside. And Malman not going to get to the 20 as he was wrestled down by Billy Petrosky. Petrosky, first team all-conference at safety a year ago.
Remember, we were really impressed last year when we saw Billy Petrosky play in the championship game against Pewaukee. You know, he earned all-conference honors, as you mentioned. Just a real heads-up player. Always seems to be where the ball is.
Gain of 3 sets up 3rd and 2 for Whitnall at the Greenfield 21-yard line. Bartlett. It's 3rd straight time to Malman. Malman breaking tackles. And now going to be thrown back in outside the 40-yard line. A loss all the way back to the 43-yard line. It's a 22-yard loss. Tyler Hansen, the inside linebacker, finally got Malman to the turf.
We mentioned the size of that defensive line for Greenfield, and there's really compressing the play.
Hansen not once but twice had a chance to get Malman down. The second time he was good on his bet. Davies will punt from midfield. Zach Fauché inside the 10. We'll try and angle this one. Takes a forward bounce into the end zone. 41-yard punt into the end zone, a net of 21. They'll get it 1st and 10 at the 20. 6:53 to go.
Weren't able to take advantage of that excellent field position.
That's a credit to the Hawk defense. They buckled up.
We had mentioned about the Whitnall's offense being all seniors. That defense that we see out there for Greenfield, all but one is a senior. So they too have an experienced group out on the field.
Marion Bartlett scored the 1-yard touchdown run for Greenfield, working from the pistol. Little option, they'll pitch it. Cutting back, Boyko. Boyko will get the first down and more out across the 35-yard line. Gain of 16 for Boyko. Miller, the cornerback, able to get him out of bounds.
We haven't seen Sam Streeter in the backfield tonight for Greenfield. We know he was nursing a little bit of an injury, but Boyko on the year has already rushed for almost 350 yards. We've seen how effective he's been on defense as well, so he's certainly stepped in and given Greenfield the lift they need.
15-yard pickup. Briggs and Brighton and Stratton College athletic first down for the Hawks. He'll get the call again. Works his way up the middle for a couple. Maybe 3 out of that. Dennis Breitenstein able to make the stop. 6'3" senior on that defensive end for the Falcons.
Yeah, one of the things you want to do with that 3-3 defense, you want to do a lot of stunting, so you wind up with a 4-man front by using one of the linebackers.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. They'll go trips here to the left side. Bartlett going over the middle, and it's incomplete. Once again looking for Rosario on that far side. Miller on the breakup. Elijah Rosario, the junior. 3-sport athlete for Greenfield.
Yeah, they had number 59, Anthony Vicala, was really putting pressure on Bartlett that time. It helped, I think, throw that pass off rhythm.
Well, key 3rd down here, 3rd and 8. Ball at their own 37-yard line. 4 receivers, 3 to the near side. Single back is Boyko. Looked like to sink the swing pass. Bartlett will keep it. Bartlett will break tackles and get the first down. Out near the 47-yard line is Bartlett. Gain of 10. They'll move the chains.
Klatkowitz was forced to come make a tackle again. Once again, they've had 2 guys miss tackles.
Nearly lost that ball, too. Good job by Bartlett to hang on to that, to pick up that first down. Let's head down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
Guys, the offensive coaches from Whitnall want to know why number 75, Jalen Cross, is in every play. The offensive line said, look, he's moving around a little bit. We need to maybe double him. He's giving them a lot of problems. Keep your eye on 75 from Greenfield. Really good football player.
Boyko with a nice run, gain of about 7. Brought down by Seidler. So a gain of 7 here. Greenfield now with some momentum following that touchdown.
Yeah, they're getting a push off the offensive line. That time Seidler made the tackle about 5 yards back off the line of scrimmage. So that big offensive front is starting to take its toll on Whitnall.
They'll put Batcher in now here on the near side. Fauché on the far side. 2nd and 3. Bartlett going to be leveled back at the 45-yard line. Looked like Joe Tilley along with Andrew Couture both got to the quarterback back at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Couture, when he comes in, he's going to block out a little bit of the sun there. Andrew is 6'7", 270. And Joe Tilley at 6'2", 190. They put, once again, we talked about how you want to put pressure with that 3-3 by bringing a linebacker, and that's what happened that time.
A loss of 8 sets up 3rd and 11 for the Hawks. Bacula in now for Seidler up front for the Falcons. Bartlett hit as he's thrown and leveled back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, they brought 2 linebackers that time. That was Couture once again getting in there, putting pressure on.
So a defensive surge here by Whitnall. Turns Greenfield back into a punt. Fauché will punt. Gets a good snap this time. Gets this one away. It'll be a short kick. It will go out of bounds near the Whitnall 30-yard line when we come back. Game tied at 7. Our Thursday Night Lights in Whitnall tonight. Whitnall High School, the Falcons and Greenfield tied at 7. Late second quarter tied at 7. The Falcons from Whitnall taking on the Greenfield Hawks. It's the ultimate test in speed, strength, and endurance. Watch American Ninja Warrior tomorrow night at 7 on My 24. Well, a key drive here for Whitnall, trying to get some momentum back here. Greenfield trying to, or I should say Whitnall trying to get some momentum off their defense. That did a nice job here turning Greenfield back. Flores going over the middle. It's overthrown, incomplete. Alexopoulos was the intended receiver trying to get the ball in his hands.
Right, and they had 2 guys covering him. They were dropping 6, to cover the pass, but there were only 2 receivers going out on that.
Flores throws a very nice ball, 5'9", 155, and a senior.
Yeah, he's completing almost 60% of passes this year as well.
2nd and 10 from the 26. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Flores back over the middle, finds Alexopoulos, makes the catch across the 35, out to the 39-yard line, a pickup of 13. Petrosky got him to the turf, but another Bryant and Stratton College first down.
At 6'4", Alexopoulos is an excellent target to throw. He was a first-team all-conference selection a year ago. Their coaches up here are yelling, tempo, tempo. They want to get going on a quicker pace here.
Competes in the long jump on the track team, and you can see how that translates into some good football moves across the middle of the field.
Right, he made it to state last year in the long jump for Whitnall.
1st and 10 Falcons at their own 39. Twins either side here for Flores with time. Now on the scramble, but nowhere to run. Able to rustle him down. Was Michael Rates, the defensive lineman, able to get in there. One more look. Had a lane, but I think ran into his own man. Yep, ran right up the back of his lineman there, Matt Balsarak. Loss of 2, second down and 12. Malman, not much running room there, got it back to the 40-yard line. So now you've got a 3rd and 9 upcoming with a late penalty marker thrown after they unpile.
Yeah, we're going to get an unsportsmanlike penalty, I think, here on Whitnall.
We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, on the offense. 15 yards, 4th down.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after they unpile moves the football back to the 25-yard line. They'll replay 3rd down. It'll be a 3rd and 24 for Whitnall. They'll put the fullback, in the backfield. He'll stay in the block. Flores over the middle, completes. Alexopoulos across the 40. Nice open field tackle once again. Benjamin Guzman able to get him to the turf, well short of the 1st down.
Yeah, still 4th down, and Greenfield has to be quite happy with standing right now at 7-7. Interesting call here. It looks like Whitnall's considering whether or not they decided they are going to punt it.
Well, and with the 2 timeouts used on that touchdown drive, Greenfield down to just 1 timeout. So,
and they weren't able to really get into the rhythm. They were taking a lot of time between plays.
Under a minute to go here in the half. Davies got it blocked. The run right in that time was Jonas Woods, and it's picked up by Greenfield inside the 25-yard line. Able to pick it up was Tyler Hansen after the block by Jonas Woods.
That time the punter kind of delayed a little bit and stepped out to his right.
Went right into Woods, who was coming from that same direction. So a turnover here on the punt gives Greenfield a golden opportunity. 45 seconds to go in the half. They have 1 timeout remaining with the ball at the Falcon 24-yard line. O'Marion Bartlett, sophomore quarterback, sends 3 receivers here to the near side. And now a penalty at 12 men on the field in the huddle for Greenfield. 1st and 15 for the Hawks. Coming up at halftime, we'll highlight this week's Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin Scholar Athletes. And Kara has a chance to talk with a few of our sponsors. That's coming up during our halftime report. So a 1st and 15 now with 45 seconds to play. And again, Greenfield with only the 1 timeout.
Yeah, they also had to waste 2 timeouts themselves.
Clock rolling here. Now they're going to have to stop, and Greenfield will have to take their final timeout. A lot of confusion here in this first half by the Greenfield offense.
Right. I'm not quite sure what the problem seems to be, a lack of communication. And one of the things Coach Ringelberg pointed out is a good number of his coaching staff are from outside the building. And so getting a chance to get to practice right away when you've got some other commitments sometimes can create a problem.
Their offensive coordinator, a familiar name to Packer fans, Mark Chimura.
Certainly remember him, and Mark Chimura loved to play the tight end position, and now he's finding himself having to call those plays. See what he tries to dial up here.
Great to see Murph tonight, your buddy.
I told him he looked like Ho Chi Minh with the beard he had grown. I didn't know if that
he
was...
He makes me jealous with what I'm trying to grow here.
Part of,
Coach Murphy, always a smile on his face, always good things to say. Good to see him out here tonight.
And he too has had to adjust to working with 3 different coaches in 3 years.
So a 1st and 15 for Greenfield following the penalty. 3 receivers here to the near side, single receiver right. Bartlett will air it out. Going down that far sideline, and it is intercepted in the end zone. And that's Miller, his 5th interception of the year, able to take it away from Rosario.
He is the key to the defensive secondary for Whitnall and came up there with a critical interception.
Bartlett telegraphed that pass all the way. He was looking for Rosario all the way. That allowed Miller to close, jump in front of the receiver, read the route, take it away for the theft. His 5th pick this season.
Yeah, he went up and caught that ball at the peak, took it right away from Rosario.
Now let's see, with 33 seconds and 2 timeouts, what the Falcons will do here. Touchback puts the ball at the 20-yard line. They want to throw. Flores with time now brings it down, and he's sacked back at the 20-yard line. Look like Andrew Couture again there to make the stop for Greenfield. He's starting to pick up his game here in this second quarter. Clock will roll out. I think the Falcons will let this one roll, and we'll head to the locker rooms. Tied at 7. Will we or not? Nope. They'll take a timeout here with 4.7 seconds left.
They must have decided they didn't want to take that into the locker room with them at half.
Quinlan, John Quinlan, the coach there.
I'd say John looks a little bit exasperated right now. Second year as a head coach, but he's been a longtime wrestling coach here at Whitnall. Highly successful as a wrestling coach. Served as the president of the Wisconsin Wrestling Coaches Association. And
another one of those Metro Conference guys, too. We talked before the game, found out we probably played against each other back in the day, the old St. Joe and Marquette football games.
And I had to deal with coaching John as well as teaching him. So I promised I would be very kind to him tonight.
He hand wrote our game notes tonight.
Turned him in late.
He got a C- for that, didn't he?
Turned him in late, too. I docked him a grade.
Second down and 9. Flores going to air it out down the near sideline, looking for Stephen Flores. It'll go incomplete, and that will end our first half here at Whitnall High School. The Whitnall Falcons and the Greenfield Hawks tied at 7. A good ball game tonight here in the Woodland East. 7-7 your score here at the break. We'll pause, come back with our halftime programming after this on My 24. Welcome back to our halftime report here on U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Northwest Surgery Center. A dandy here tonight in the Woodland Conference East Division. Whitnall Falcons and the Greenfield Hawks tied at 7. Well, tonight we'd like to highlight some special student athletes. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin is proud to present our Scholar Athlete of the Week nominees. This week's nominee from Greenfield High School is Sam Streeter. Sam is a 4-year participant in football, basketball, and track, carries a 3.64 GPA, is captain of the football team, and is a 2-time all-conference selection in football. Sam was given the Big Team Little Me Team Award, and he volunteers through his church and is a member of the Social Studies Honor Society, Rho Kappa. From Whitnall High School, our nominee is Savannah Holt. Savannah is a 4.58 GPA, ranked 2nd in her class. She has taken numerous honors, AP, and college-level courses. She's a 2-time all-conference cross-country selection and qualified for state in 2015. Savannah is active in many extracurricular activities, including DECA. She attended the International Relations, Language, and Culture programs in Spain in 2016. Congratulations to this week's Scholar Athlete nominees. At the end of the season, one nominee will be chosen to receive a scholarship courtesy of Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Check them out online at orthowisconsin.com. 7-7 your score here at the half. Let's head down to the sideline and Kara.
Thank you once again, John. I have Staff Sergeant Bryant Williams with the U.S. Army down here with me. What are the basic qualifications of the Army?
The basic qualifications for joining the United States Army, you got to be ages 17 to 34 with a good health, good physical condition. Also, just make sure you have at least a high school diploma or a GED.
And what would you say are the benefits of joining the Army?
There's many benefits to joining the United States Army. Main benefits are to travel and many type of education benefits, as in TA loans, Montgomery GI bills. Most of them are you get 100% tuition free for any colleges, especially in the state of Wisconsin, which is one of the best benefits you can have.
Well, and not to mention the travel, right? You're not originally from Wisconsin. Where are you from?
No, I'm originally from Lawton, Oklahoma, and I've been in for about 14 years now, so I love it. I've been to Oklahoma, Texas, Korea, tour in Iraq, and a tour in Afghanistan.
Well, thank you so much for your service. And now that you finally made it to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and are joining us for Thursday Night Lights, what would you say has been the highlight of joining us for Thursday Night Lights this season?
The highlights of doing this so far has been I've been going to different stadiums and seeing the different crowds and interacting with the My 24 and everybody else that has to do with the Thursday Night Lights, which has been a great opportunity for me.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Well, thank you so much for joining us this season and, of course, for serving our country. And back to you guys.
Kara, thank you so much. Staff Sergeant Bryant Williams, we thank you for your service in the United States Army. Game tied at 7, Whitnall and Greenfield. Our Thursday Night Lights at Whitnall High School on My 24. Welcome back to our halftime report here on U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center. Game tied at 7. The Falcons from Whitnall and Greenfield Hustlin' Hawks. Back to the sidelines we go, and Kara.
Thank you. Once again, I have Jake Fincher with Respect Our Waters down here with me. Jake, what is Respect Our Waters?
So Respect Our Waters is a campaign where we go into the public and we tell people about the importance of clean water and the simple things that we can all do to make a really big difference to help clean up our water in the Milwaukee area.
And the weather has been absolutely whoa! And my favorite Sparkles is back to join us. Yeah. Now, the weather has been absolutely beautiful, but football and high school football is a great reminder that fall is here, fall is approaching, the leaves will start falling soon. So how does that relate to our waters?
Yeah, so football, love football. It's starting to get a little bit colder out during football season, and so the leaves start falling off these trees. They get swept into our storm drains, and then they clog up our storm drains, so that can lead to basement backups, leads to flooding in the community, and it also makes our water dirty because a lot of leaves and a little bit of water, it's not good. So that plugs up a lot of the natural processes that are supposed to be happening.
Well, that's obviously not the great side of things. So obviously football is a little bit more exciting to think about. Well, thank you so much for the information, joining us for Thursday Night Lights, and thank you, Sparkles. And back to you.
Kara, thank you so much. We're tied at 7 here, Whitnall and Greenfield. Time now for our games to watch, brought to you by the Big 920 WOKY. Games to watch tomorrow night include Arrowhead taking on Waukesha West.
You know, Arrowhead has rebounded from that opening loss to Muskego and has moved to a 4-2 record, so they're coming on. And Waukesha West, we know how tough they are.
Big game in the Southeast Conference, Racine Horlick at Oak Creek.
Right, and it's setting up for another big match the following week with Franklin having to face Horlick.
And then over in the Southern Lakes, Wilmot needs a victory to keep pace with the Badgers.
Otherwise, the Badgers are going to win the title. I believe this would be the 3rd year in a row for them in that Southern Lakes.
On the Big 920 Sunday's Game of the Week, it'll be Brookfield Central against Brookfield East. That is on 9:20 a.m. or on the iHeartRadio app. Keyword the Big 920.
Brookfield is the place to be tomorrow night. The game's at East.
We're tied at 7 here at Whitnall. We'll be back with more of our halftime programming after this. Halftime report continues on U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center. Whitnall Falcons and the Greenfield Hustlin' Hawks tied at 7 through one half of play. Once again to the sidelines we go, and Kara.
Thank you very much. Now this time I've got somebody who's made all of this happen for us, Dave Pentek, the Whitnall Athletic Director. Now we've met once before, but now this time on the Whitnall turf. How has it been at Whitnall for you?
It's been outstanding. This is a great community, great school district. I love everything about it. It's been awesome.
Well, thank you so much for letting us take over tonight. We are up against some tough competition, obviously on another station, but we've got some really great competition going on tonight. How has your perception of the game been going?
It's a close game. We expected that. We're excited to see how the second half goes. But obviously we wanted to go the Whitnall way, so hopefully we can pull out a victory. So
Yeah, we're really excited about it. I can't wait to see what happens, and hopefully we can come out with a win.
good. Thank you so much for coming on out.
And thank you. Back to you.
Kara, thank you, and Dave Pentak, thank you for letting us take over your complex here at the Falcon Field. Game tied at 7. Time now for our United States Army highlights, brought to you by the United States Army. Not much there with a 7-7 game, but there are a couple here. The Flores scramble here that set them up on their first touchdown.
Yeah, that pleased offensive coordinator Mark Johannes, and this certainly pleased him, the Flores to Flores connection.
That put the Falcons up 7-0. And Greenfield on that ensuing drive, the Fauché scramble off the muffed punt.
Right, they get up with a big stop, and then your special teams let you down.
Then they were able to convert on 2 4th downs, including 4th and goal from inside the 1. Bartlett able to punch it over. That tied the game at 7.
And it was Bartlett who got him downfield with his scrambling.
And then the blocked punt late here in this second quarter. That thwarted a Whitnall drive, gave Greenfield an opportunity, but then on the first play from that turnover, the interception by Peter Miller. And that's where we stand, game tied at 7. Third quarter coming your way next here on My 24. 7-7 ball game as we get set to start the second half with Terry Kelly, John Weiser up in the booth. We got Mike McGivern and Kara down on the sidelines tonight, and along with our My 24 sports crew as we get set for second half action. Well, before the ball game tonight, Kara had a chance to visit with the Goodwill folks, a big contest coming up for Halloween.
Thank you very much. I have Laura Sanders of Goodwill here with me, and Goodwill has a costume contest coming up. Can you tell us about it?
We do. Halloween is our season, so we're really excited about this time of year. We're telling students and everyone else joining, you've gone back to school, let's go back to Ghoul. So we invite you to be creative. Go to Goodwill, shop, get your Halloween costume, and then take a picture of yourself and then submit it on social media to us. We're looking for you to send it to hashtag 2017 Goodwill Halloween, and we're excited to see what comes in, so be creative.
And what is the prize that we're fighting for here?
Well, it's frightful. We've partnered up this year with Six Flags Great America, and so the winner will receive a 4-pack VIP package. They're going to receive tickets to Great America, the Fright Fest, and then a parking pass as well. So it's a really wonderful thing to do at this time of year, especially if you're into Halloween.
And I understand that the Goodwill website is a great resource for Halloween as well.
That's a fabulous place to start. So check it out. We've got a lot of ideas, tips, tricks, decor, and costumes. So it's a good place to start. Then come on in, and we've got costume consultants who are happy to help you build your costume and help you take that spark of creativity just a little further.
Well, thank you so much for helping us get into the Halloween spirit, and of course for joining us for Thursday Night Lights.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And back to you.
Weather feeling a little bit more like Halloween this week.
I wonder what Mike McGivern's going to wear for Halloween.
I heard he was going to go as John McGivern.
Oh, okay. John might file a lawsuit with that.
Greenfield will get the ball to start our second half. They had won the coin toss, so they get the ball to start this third quarter. And, keeping track of your keys to the game tonight, Terry, how close are we here?
Well, Greenfield had that one drive that went for over 7 minutes, and that certainly was doing what the coaches hoped to accomplish. Both teams have got to be a little unhappy with their offensive production, however, though both teams are under 90 yards total offense, and it's been a game that just hasn't gotten into a flow.
Again, a reminder, U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com and click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. And don't forget, tonight's game will be rebroadcast this Sunday evening at 7 right here on My24. Fauché and Boyko set to receive the kick from Tutt. Boyko to the right of your screen. And Let's run up. Get this one away deep. Fauché inside his zone 5. Out across the 20. Out to the 32-yard line where he is tackled there. 27-yard return. Colin Bennett able to take him down. Greenfield with pretty good field position here to start this third quarter.
One of the things Whitnall must have talked about is making sure that they stop Omarion Bartlett from his scrambling. You know, they've been putting some pressure on him, but he's been able to escape that on a couple of occasions and, you know, kept the touchdown drive alive.
Look for more tempo passing here by Greenfield here in the second half.
Right, and they were working on that when we stopped by practice this week. They feel with Christian Bratcher and, Elijah Rosario that they have some excellent receivers.
Fauché split out to the left. Bratcher here to the near side. Single back is Boyko. They'll run option. Bartlett with a quick pitch back to Boyko. Boyko out across the 35, out to the 37-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the pitch. Bartlett to Boyko. Pelkoffer with the tackle.
And you watch Omarion as he runs out there. Waits till the last second. Once the end commits, does the pitch.
Good job by Wolfgram, the fullback, to lead both players out. Able to clear some space on that far hash mark. Gain of 6, second down 4 for Greenfield. Fauché and Petrosky here to the near side. They'll bring Petrosky as the tight end to the near side. Bartlett will hand it off. Boyko nowhere to go. Good cover that time up front. Bacula there to the sophomore.
You know, other than the scrambling, they've been able to handle Greenfield's running game. It's a case now, are they going to be able to contain Bartlett and not let him get out once they put that pressure on him?
One of those sophomores that Whitnall looking to step up, continue their development.
Yeah, Seidler at 6'1", 265. Anthony Vacula, 6'4", 280.
Third and 4 for Greenfield, and a timeout taken by the Hawks. We'll head down to the sidelines and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, listen to the offensive guys out here at Whitnall. They're going to go inside early and then try to use their speed on the outside, second, third down, depending on the distance. Offensive line coach really pleading with these guys to understand their assignments. Trust the guy next to them, but understand their assignments. I think they went over that a couple times in the locker room. We'll see how it works. Boys, back to you.
It's always easier, guys, when you've got seniors to work on that because they've been through the wars.
Yeah, but up to this point, Greenfield's front four has really stopped that inside running game of Whitnall. So it'll be interesting to see, are they going to be able to accomplish what they discussed with Mike?
Boyko will be the single back behind the quarterback, Bartlett. 3 receivers left here for the Hawks on 3rd down and 4 from their own 37. Going to swing it out to Boyko. Boyko back up the middle will get the first down out near the 44-yard line. Boyko on the swing pass that time, able to pick up our Gruber Law Office's first down. Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all. Klatkowitz making the stop.
Yeah, he cut back nicely. He saw the defense coming from the outside in. He was able to cut it underneath and pick up that first down.
2 minutes into our third quarter and a tie ball game. Greenfield moving the ball out to the 44-yard line. Rosario, single receiver, split out to the left side. Fauché here to the near side. And again, another timeout taken by Greenfield. They've had to burn 2 here in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. A lot of confusion getting the plays in.
You know, not sure whether that's due to the fact you've got a sophomore quarterback still trying to get his legs under him. Coach Ringelberg is apparently discussing that with him right now.
A one-way conversation.
Yes, I believe this is a monologue, not a dialogue.
Now listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz Show presented by your local Pick and Save stores this Saturday morning starting at 10. Steve Rux, the head coach at Waukesha West, will join Ryan McMillan and Mike McGivern in studio, along with a couple of his senior players. That's this Saturday morning at 10, only on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. Big ball game for Waukesha West. They've got Arrowhead tomorrow night.
Right, and Waukesha West has to be careful not to be looking ahead. Catholic Memorial is one of the people left on the schedule as well, so big game for both teams.
Arrowhead trying to get playoff eligible, too.
Yeah.
1st and 10, Greenfield from their own 44. Fauché in motion. He'll get it on the jet sweep. Cuts it back up the middle. Has some blocking room across the 45 out near midfield. Dylan Madem making the tackle. Another senior on defense here for the Falcons.
Once again, he noticed that cutback. He reads his hole well.
It's 8 solo tackles on the season now for Madem.
Yeah. And Fauché has done a couple of nice things tonight for Greenfield.
And again, not seeing Streeter out there tonight, nursing an injury last couple of weeks. Took the warm-ups but did not take the start here tonight. Boyko on the pitch, line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Good job
we're
again
get a
up
holding
front by
penalty.
that defensive front. There is a holding call here, it would appear, against Greenfield.
Holding. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
So holding call up front. 10 yards from the spot of the foul will move the football back to the Greenfield 40-yard line.
And Whitnall's been working in some substitutes along that defensive line. Andrew Katir, who had an impact in that second quarter, back in there now on defense.
They'll go twins either side here with Boyko the single back on 2nd and 14. Bartlett looking right, now under some pressure. Bartlett able to escape across the 40 out to the 41. It'll count as a gain of 1, but Bartlett, not much running room there, and the good coverage downfield by the secondary. I think it was Klakowitz who got in there initially, made that stop. It was Couture who actually chased him back into the wash, and Klakowitz able to finish him off.
That's 5 tackles for Klakowitz so far tonight.
Well, stay tuned. Following the game, we will highlight our play of the game. That's brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. 3rd and 12 from the 42. Bartlett under pressure. Down he goes. Bakula there, the sophomore, able to get there. Maybe Couture. But the penalty and the sack, and Greenfield will be forced to punt.
Vakula putting good pressure from the outside. Couture finishing him off up the middle.
So the holding penalty stalled that drive, and so Greenfield forced to punt. Fauché to Perez and Flores standing deep. Fair catch signaled for. Ball is dropped. The penalty marker down. That'll be interference with the opportunity to make the fair catch. Calling on Greenfield.
He waited till the last minute to signal that.
But you still get that halo around the free receiver trying to receive that punt.
With kick catching interference. You can take it.
So Coach Quinlan coming out wants his options explained.
There.
I think he'll take the mark off here at the end.
We have kick catching interference on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And that's a big one. That'll move the football out near midfield here for Whitnall to start their opening drive of this second half. looked like Wolfgram got in there. Again, it was a late signal
signal
by Perez, but you still have to allow the punt receiver there to make that catch.
Yeah,
or
two
have the
penalties.
opportunity to at least get the catch.
2 penalties in these last 3 plays have created some problems for Greenfield.
A drive that will start at midfield for Whitnall. Jake Flores, touchdown pass tonight. He will keep it. Flores inside the 45 will stretch it down to the 43.
Trying to run that read option, fake it to Malman, see if the end commits, and then pull it out, go upfield.
Derek Bunzel, the outside linebacker, out there to make the stop for Greenfield. One more look. And Jonas Woods has been all over that backfield tonight for Greenfield on defense. Had the initial contact with the quarterback Flores that time.
Yeah, he's another one of those players going both ways for Greenfield.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3 from the Hawks 43. They'll run the option back to Malman. Malman able to make one man miss, got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard. Got tripped up again by Wolfgram. The senior inside linebacker, another two-way player for the Hawks. Sets up 3rd and 2 for Whitnall at the Hawks 42-yard line.
Jonas Woods hustling over there too, and at 6'4", 280, shows he can move pretty well.
Prom, the tight end, lined up on a wing to the right side. Hawks showing blitz, they fill the gaps. They'll give it to Malman. Malman, second effort, very close. Needs to get to the 40-yard line for the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Boyko able to come in, make the stop. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 40-yard line, setting up 4th and inches. The officials want a stop time here to measure.
Do you want to make your guesstimate on this one, John?
I think he's going to be short. Again, the way they had that ball spotted, nose is going to be just shy of the 40-yard line. This might be credit card time. Take that little card out.
I want to be very careful who gets my credit card.
Is that enough? Is it touching? Is it touching or not? One link shy. A link shy of the first down, so it'll set up 4th and less than a yard here for Whitnall. They'll need the change to spot the football here.
And it looks like offensive coordinator Mark Johannes made his decision right away. They broke the huddle, ready to come up and get over the ball.
They'll wait for the chains to get reset on the far side. 4th and inches. Flores will get them lined up. Spread them out, 2 receivers aside. Flores lost the football, fumbled it on the 41-yard line. Greenfield has recovered. He coughed it up. Derek Bunzel able to recover. And so Greenfield turns back. Whitnall, they turn it over on the turnover on downs.
One of those watershed moments that we look at in a game, and Greenfield was able to stop them.
So Greenfield will take over at their own 41 when we come back. 5:01 to play in a tie ball game at Whitnall High School. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Falcons fumble on 4th and inches. Bunzel with the recovery. And so Greenfield will take over at their own 41-yard line, tied at 7. Bartlett will keep it. Across the 45, out to the 47-yard line. Andrew Couture First team all-conference selection a year ago, able to wrestle him down, but a nice gain by Bartlett on first down to pick up a 6.
Yeah, well, running that option, turns it up. Saw that he had a seam and took it.
Another good block by Wolfgram, at least to cut off the linebacker there at the hash mark. Gave Bartlett a couple of extra yards. 2nd and 6 from their own 47. Boyko trying to come around near side, nothing doing. Actually, that was Tyler Hansen with his first carry tonight with a penalty flag.
You know, going back to that fumble, John, one of the things Tom Swittle pointed out to us, Whitnall's always in a shotgun. Suddenly you bring your quarterback up, put him under center. He's not accustomed to taking that snap, and that ball was coming out from the time the center brought it back.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
So the holding call moves Greenfield back. Well, the penalties here in this third quarter against Greenfield have hurt. There's your holding call right there.
Yeah, that's the third big penalty they've had.
I think it was D'Angelo Rosario, I believe, the guilty party that time. 2nd and 17. Bartlett throwing left all the way. Got it up for grabs, and it goes incomplete. Looking for Fauché down that far numeral. Like that was Miller again, perhaps back there defensively. Pete Miller with an interception already tonight. Took one away in the end zone, thwarting a Hawk drive earlier. So 3rd and 17 facing the Hawks back at their own 34-yard line. Again, trying to overcome a holding call. 2nd consecutive drive. They'll go 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right.
You know, we haven't seen them do a screen as of yet. Now would be the perfect time to work that in.
Bartlett going to try and dump it down, looking for his fullback, Wolfgram. It bounced off his helmet, incomplete. Actually, Hansen, the fullback, with a late penalty marker thrown. Line judge here on the near side throwing the flag. So the question would be, is this a dead ball penalty, which will tack on yardage after the play, or was this a foul on Whitnall during the play?
I think they were trying to decide if there's actually interference, but that ball had bounded off someone else first.
So they'll pick up the marker. That'll bring up 4th down. Let's head down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
Offensive coaches here at Whitnall asking their offensive line what's going on. Said on the fumble, 4th down, the first time we've got them off the line. Said, look, you got to keep hitting them that way. Want to take care of the ball a little bit and see if they can't get a drive going. They think one score might win this thing.
Fauché to punt. Low snap. It's going to be a fake coming around near side. Fauché out across the 40, breaks a tackle 45. Across midfield is Fauché for the first down inside the Whitnall 45-yard line. That was a straight fake all the way for Fauché. Picks up the Gruber Law Office's first down, and Greenfield keeps possession.
Well, one of the things they do, you can see that Greenfield runs that man in motion, takes away one of the outside defenders. He goes across, and then some missed tackles really made that play successful.
Well, that goes back to one of the keys, extending drives and taking time off the clock. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third, and Greenfield stays alive here. 1st and 10 from the Falcon 43-yard line. Bartlett breaks a couple of tackles, gets back to the line of scrimmage before he is finally wrapped up. Nate Valcarcel, able to wrestle him down to the turf here on the near side for no gain. And that's a pure read on the part of Bartlett because he had Boyko trailing the play, waiting the pitch if it was coming.
Yeah, Whitnall, their defenders are not wrapping up on that ball carrier, and that's one of the reasons they keep squirting loose.
Bartlett comes back near side. Ball is deflected in and out of the hands of Rosario, incomplete. Again, they're coming back at the Carcel here on the near side. They'll set up 3rd and long now for Greenfield. Again, Greenfield got away with having 12 in the huddle.
Right.
They're trying to hustle a hustling Hawk off the field there, out of that huddle.
We'll see if Greenfield will try the comeback once again that was successful for them in the first half.
We haven't seen the wheel route yet.
Yet.
They were working on that pretty exclusively when we visited on Monday. So 3rd and 10 from the 43. 3 receivers to the left. Single receiver Fauché here to the near side. Blitz coming up the middle. They pick it up. Bartlett on the scramble. Going to keep it himself. Down to the 38-yard line. Valcarcel on this drive has been a one-man wrecking crew, getting some help from Breitenstein that time as well.
The ball on the 38, I think Greenfield's really considering whether in fact they will go for this.
Well, 4th and 5 for the Hawks. Christian Bratcher will bring the play in from the sideline for Greenfield.
It's actually turned out to be their best play, is letting Omarion Bartlett scramble.
Again, confusion here trying to line up players. They want trips here to the near side. They get everybody set. On 4th and 5, Bartlett swings it out, incomplete. Miller getting in there, maybe got a hand in there. Knock it away from Fauché, incomplete. Peter Miller getting a hand out there. We'll take one more look. Again, confusion trying to line up. That was just a high toss. Miller able to get there. And Fauché unable to come up with it. So Greenfield turns it back over on downs. Whitnall ball at their own 38-yard line with 1:29 to go here in the 3rd.
Yeah, that's about Miller's 4th key play so far in this game.
Flores will keep it. Across the 40, dives to about the 43-yard line. Jake Flores, Jalen Cross making the stop for Greenfield.
Once again, you'd like to use that as a series in terms of have the dive, have the quarterback be able to keep, or give it to that motion man. And they haven't been able to quite get that set up.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Stefan Flores in motion. Again, the keep by Flores. He'll keep it across midfield. And we'll get the Gruber Law Office's first down for the Falcons.
You fake that jet sweep, the quarterback reads what's happening and pulls that ball out. Picks up a big first down for Whitnall.
Gain of 10 on the play for Flores. Clock rolling, 35 seconds to go here in this 3rd quarter. Again, they'll fake the jet sweep. This time, Flores runs right into a host of Hawks up the middle. Boyko there to make the stop along with Cross. Be a loss of 2 back to midfield. And that should take us to our 4th quarter. Pretty good one here tonight at Whitnall. First place Falcons taking on the 2nd place Hawks. Whitnall and Greenfield tied at 7 on My 24. Game tied at 7 as we head to the fourth quarter with Terry Kelly, John Weiser up in the booth, Mike McGivern and Kara down on the sidelines tonight. 2nd and 12 from midfield for the Falcons, going left to right here in the fourth. They'll give it to Malman. Malman, big hole over the left side. Malman close to a first down to the 38-yard line. Bunzel going for a ride that time for about 5 or 6 yards. Finally got him to the turf.
That's something we haven't seen Malman be able to do, is get that burst right up the middle and gain 10 or 11 yards.
And it will be a first down. They'll move the chains. 1st and 10. First downs this quarter brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College Athletics. First and 10 from the 38. Give is to Malman. Malman down to the 35-yard line for a pickup of 3. Wolfgram able to tackle him. That's 3 tackles tonight for Sam Wolfgram, the inside linebacker.
Yeah, Whitnall knows they need to get down, get a score, because the longer you let Greenfield stay in the game, the more things can happen that you don't like. So, critical drive for Whitnall.
Alexopoulos lined up here on the near side along with Flores in the slot. Malman the single back behind Jake Flores, the quarterback. Wants to put it up. Trying to go for a slant route, and it was knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Might have been Jonas Woods along with Jalen Cross. One of those two, I think, got a hand on it.
Well, those are, two good size, 6'3", 270 for Jalen.
One more look. Jalen Cross got the hand on it there. So a clutch third down here for Whitnall, 3rd and 7. Flores, a hitch and go, going down the sideline looking for Alexopoulos. Thrown too far, incomplete. Broken up by Guzman, Benjamin Guzman out there in coverage on Alexopoulos.
Other than the one slant pass for a touchdown, they have not really been able to make that connection they've been looking for.
Well, credit Guzman did not bite on the hitch and go that time. He stayed right with Alexopoulos, forcing a 4th and 7 now for Whitnall. Stefan Flores in the slot near side along with Alexopoulos. 4th and 7 for the Falcons. Ball at the Greenfield 35-yard line. Flores with time. Back over the middle, thrown high and caught at the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a Bryant and Stratton College first down. Alexopoulos with the catch.
We mentioned his size in the first half, 6'4", and that time he did climb up to pull that in. Can imagine what he's like on the basketball floor. He's also an all-conference basketball player for Whitnall.
So 1st and 10. Ball at the 21 of Greenfield. Alexopoulos with a couple of catches tonight. This time Flores will keep it. Not much room there.
And that time it almost looked more like they missed the connection more so than Flores
Raj
trying to
Singh,
read.
Big 300-pounder on his way to Butler next year. Able to make the stop. 6'4", 300 pounds, one of the two-way players up front for Greenfield.
And that time Jake went back to the huddle pointing at himself saying, I missed the handoff.
2nd and 10. Alexopoulos and Stefan Flores split to the near side. Miguel Perez split out to the far side. Single back is Malman. Jake Flores will work from the pistol. He'll give it to Malman, breaks a tackle, gets to the line of scrimmage, and maybe a yard just shy of the 20-yard line. Again, Greenfield stout up front again. Singh, I believe, also there along with Hansen.
Yeah, we mentioned before, you've got Singh at 300, you've got Cross at 270, Jonas Woods 280. Good size, and they move well, but they are playing both ways. Is that going to become more of a factor as we get a little deeper into this quarter?
3rd and 10 for Whitnall. Just shy of the Greenfield 20-yard line. Trips here to the near side for the Falcons. They'll roll right. Flores with time, delivers, makes the catch at the 16-yard line, short of the first down. Boyko there to make the tackle on Stefan Flores. It was a high hit. Surprised there wasn't a flag there.
Right. See it on the replay here.
And a timeout will be taken by Whitnall here, stopping play with 8:45 to go. I give credit to Stefan Flores for hanging on to that football after taking Boyko's hit. Sets up a 4th and 5, but the timeout here by Whitnall. They have 2 remaining. Greenfield has 1 timeout remaining. Kara, earlier this week, had a chance to speak with the fine folks at Menards.
Thank you so much. We stopped by the Menards in Franklin to find out a little bit more about what makes Menards a great company. I've got Greg here who's been with Menards for over 20 years. What makes Menards so unique?
Well, we're a family-owned company. We're based out of Wisconsin. We were founded in 1958. In Wisconsin, we got 43 stores and 12 right here in the Milwaukee area. We just want to be your hometown hardware store. You know, we look forward to serving everybody in our neighborhoods.
And why is it important to support high school sports and Thursday Night Lights?
Well, you know, with our strong values that we have, being family-owned, it kind of goes hand in hand with the strong values that high school athletics have. And we understand that the hard work and dedication make a successful team. We're committed to supporting our communities, and we look forward to serving, you know, our neighborhood family and friends.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this season, and back to you guys.
Made it over by about 1.5 yards, and but they all count.
One more look at Thutt's field goal. 34-yarder. Just got it inside the left upright. 10-7 Falcons with 8:40 to play. All season we'll have the opportunity to talk with sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sidelines, finding out what's going on in the schools and communities we visit. Our sideline reports being brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Well, they went for the points. Quinlan going for the points, and confidence in his field goal kicker, Thutt. He's now 4 for 4. 12 plays, 62 yards, a 34-yard field goal gives the Falcons a 3-point lead.
And we've had a number of games this year that we've had on that field goal kicker have been big factors. Sam Tutt did an excellent job. 4.8 GPA, by the way. 4.0, excuse me.
4.0.
That's obviously why I didn't get a 4.0. I can't read.
Perfect in the classroom. Perfect at kicking field goals this season.
Yes.
Thutt's kick will drive it into the turf. Cut it back near side, Wolfgram. Check that, 47, Tyler Hansen. Hansen, the short man that time, able to take it across the 35-yard line. So Greenfield, good spot here. 8.5 minutes to go, down 3, but they have only 1 timeout remaining.
But came up with pretty good field position on the 35 to start this drive.
First and 10, Greenfield. Bartlett will hand it off. Boyko out across the 40, out to the 41-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the play. Well, brought to you by Sweetwater, our watershed moment of the game. Highlights a game-changing moment. And that was back in the first half, the interception by Peter Miller after the block punt. The first play from scrimmage, trying to go into the end zone, looking for Rosario, and Peter Miller able to come up with that pick.
Yeah,
that is our watershed moment. You can be a better game changer in your watershed. When it rains, stormwater washes litter, yard waste, chemicals, and other debris into our rivers and lakes. Visit respectourwaters.org to learn what you can do to prevent water pollution. Boyko on the near side, inside Falcon territory, down to the Whitnall 47-yard line. 12-yard run that time by Boyko, first down Greenfield. Klatkowitz there to make the tackle. That's 6 tonight for Klatkowitz.
Yeah, the outside linebacker was in a position to make that tackle. Came up and he, didn't get himself settled, didn't use that sideline as his friend. Picked up the first down.
Fauché going to the right. Rosario split here to the near side. And play will be whistled dead. I think Fauché started early.
We have dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first
The
down.
old Dragnet theme song playing right there at that critical moment.
Greenfield's been their own worst enemy tonight here in the second half. They've had penalties that have thwarted their first 2 drives tonight.
Right.
In the second half.
Puts them into those long yardage situations they'd like to avoid.
John Quinlan, the coach of the Falcons, looking on. And there's Keith Ringelberg, first-year coach at Greenfield. 1st and 15 from their own 48. Going to run the option. Pitch goes back to Hanson, and Hanson going to be rolled down from behind for a loss. Anthony Bakula, the 6'4 sophomore, stepping up, able to make the play.
Who's Colin? Colin Bennett.
Colin Bennett also there. We'll take one more look. And it was Bennett who got there first. 6:35 to play. 2nd and 16. Ball at the Greenfield 47-yard line. O'Marion Bartlett. Gonna heave it downfield, looking for Rosario, makes the catch at the 30-yard line. 23-yard pickup, first down, Greenfield, Elijah Rosario.
Rosario was an all-conference selection last year and, plays basketball and baseball, and you can see his good hands come into play there.
Watch him snare this one. Oh. Use his height at 6'2". Able to climb the ladder and pull it down. 23-yard pickup, first down for Greenfield. Ball at the 30-yard line of Whitnall. Bartlett wants to hand it off. Boyko wrestled down, a loss. Looked like it was Couture coming up to make the play. He's been big here in this second half.
He's had a number of critical stops. I think we mentioned earlier, first team all-conference. He didn't start tonight, but he's come in and really been a factor.
Got in there just as Boyko got the handoff. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Bartlett rolling. Dumps it out. Short hop. Looking for Fauché. Never squared the shoulders.
Right. The DBs are giving the receivers for Greenfield quite a bit of a cushion.
Well, you've got 3rd and 12 from the Falcon 32-yard line. You think a little comeback route here?
Comebacker. We kept calling for the wheel pattern, but we have not seen it yet tonight. And we saw them probably work on it for 5 straight minutes when we visited on Tuesday.
Petrowski along with Rosario lining up right side. Now they'll move Petrowski in a slot here to the near side with trips. 3rd and 12 from the 32. Bartlett going to swing it out. Again completes the pass. Rosario inside the 10. Rosario to the pylon. He marks him out. No, they'll give him the touchdown. Touchdown, Greenfield. Slow are the officials making the call. It is a touchdown by Rosario. 32-yard pass from Bartlett. 2 big catches on this drive, and the exclamation point by Rosario, snaring that one inside the 20 and rambling it in.
Well, he was all conference last year as a sophomore. Coaches at the Greenfield practice said he's kind of a deceptive guy. You don't think he's going that fast, but he's got good long strides and excellent hands.
Big extra point here for Pinot. High snap, ball down. The kick is blocked. Kick is blocked. That could be key. 13-10, a 3-point Greenfield lead when we come back. 5:03 to play. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Centers. Greenfield goes on an 8-play, 65-yard drive. Rosario, 2 big pass receptions, including the 32-yard touchdown grab. 13-10 Greenfield. On the return, out across the 40. Taken to the turf. Flores on the return, out to the 43-yard line. Rosario tonight, 4 receptions, 84 yards, including the 32-yard touchdown grab.
Well, you know, Whitnall came in here having shut out its last 4 opponents, but obviously not quite the caliber of team that Greenfield is. So now we'll have to see how they respond, finding themselves trailing.
Prom, the tight end, will line up left side. Single back is Malman. Movement up front. They got to jump. Jalen Cross, I believe, the defensive end on the right side.
Defense. Still first down.
So 5 free ones here for the Falcons, makes it a 1st and 5. Line up Perez and Flores, far side. Alexopoulos here to the near side. Malman the single back with Flores in motion. They'll give it to Malman. Working the left side. Malman inside the 40-yard line. Andrew Malman. 10-yard run that time. First down. Our Bryant and Stratton College Athletics first down for the Falcons.
Well, have to see if that platooning now starts to make a difference. The fact that a good number of those defensive linemen for Greenfield are playing both ways.
Alexopoulos comes near side. We'll put Flores in a slot to the left side. Bring him in motion. No fake the sweep. Jake Flores. Flores will get it into the end zone. Touchdown, Whitnall. "40-yard run for Jake Flores, the senior. His 7th rushing touchdown of the year."
Well, they fake that speed sweep. Flores takes the ball out and cuts upfield. Pulls it right out.
So the Falcons reclaim the lead on the 40-yard run by Jake Flores. Sam Tutt on for the extra point. Tutt's extra point is up and good. 17-13 Whitnall with 4:18 to play. Punch, counter punch here between Whitnall and Greenfield.
We asked how would Whitnall respond to having Greenfield at the drive, and Jake Flores gave us the answer real well there.
Well, the coach calls him the igniter. And he certainly lit up Falcon Field with that 40-yard run. So Jake Flores throwing a touchdown pass in the first half, scoring on a rushing touchdown here. Now it turns it back over to the Falcon defense. And again, will those 2 early timeouts early in the third quarter come back to haunt Greenfield here?
Right, and I imagine, Cody Smith is telling his defensive group, got to make sure we contain Omari and Bartlett and not let him get free. Keep that pressure on him.
2-play, 57-yard drive. 40 of them by Jake Flores, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. Boyko and Fauché standing deep. This will go over the head of Boyko. Will not make the end zone. It's a free ball. And Fauché covers it up at the 10-yard line. The old rugby kickoff. I've never seen that one.
Well, that thing hit and bounced backwards.
Again, that's a live ball if it stays in play. It would look like it was going to head to the end zone, but because it bounced backwards, Fauché had to scramble and cover it up. We get one more look. Hit at the 3. Credit Fauché for being alert enough
to get back to it.
Get back to that football and at least save the possession here for Greenfield. They will have it at their own 10-yard line. 4:16 to play. They have 1 timeout remaining. Falcon faithful on their feet. Bartlett going to keep it. Bartlett steps out of a tackle across the 15. Dances to the 20. He'll get the first down and wrestled there. So nice run by Omarion Bartlett. Able to pick up the Bryant and Stratton College first down. Big play there on first down for the Hawks.
Well, Omarion, it's a lot of shake and bake you get with him. I would imagine when he's on the basketball floor, he can create some problems as well.
Stephen Flores finally got him to the turf. 1st and 10 for the Hawks, just across their own 20-yard line. Another late substitution, Rosario coming out. This will be Bratcher here to the near side, Fauché to the far side. From the 21, Bartlett. Going to run option to pitch to Boyko. Boyko breaking tackles. Boyko out to the 30-yard line, a gain of 9. Dennis Boyko, the 5'10 senior, another clutch run, sets up a 2nd and 1.
One of the things I think Whitnall will be working on this next week is tackling. They've not been tackling well tonight, and they're helping Greenfield extend these drives.
Rosario back in for Bratcher at the wide receiver position. He'll line up far side. Fauché to the near side. Bartlett from the pistol. 2nd and 1 from his own 30. Bartlett coming back near side, looking for Fauché, and it's incomplete. Miller on the coverage. Good coverage that time by Pete Miller. He's got an interception already tonight, blanketing Fauché there.
Yeah, you could see Fauché come out, stutter step, then try to turn it on to go deep. DB did stay with him. Tough ball to judge the way it kind of floated up in the air there.
Well, 3rd and 1 now for Greenfield. 2:39 to play. They trail by 4. Rosario split right. Fauché split left. Penalty marker at the snap. They will stop the back in the backfield for a loss back at the 29-yard line. Boyko covered up almost immediately by Vakula. The flag came at the snap.
We got 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Illegal procedure.
Too many men at the line of scrimmage.
Coach!
Well, this is an interesting situation. It's 4th down and 1 if they decline the penalty. And Greenfield's almost in a position of having to go for it with only one
Illegal
timeout.
procedure. 6 men in line of scrimmage, offense. Repeat, 3rd down.
Now they're going to elect to take the penalty on the illegal formation. Takes them out of a 3rd and 1. Make it 3rd and a long 6 here for Greenfield. 2.5 minutes to play.
Notice that Whitnall slipped in Stefan Flores out here to cover one of the wide receivers.
Twins either side here on 3rd and 6. Bartlett looking to throw, comes back over the middle, completes to Petrowski. Petrowski going to be wrestled down out near the 35-yard line, should have enough for the 1st down. Billy Petrowski, his 2nd reception tonight. Stefan Flores with the tackle.
Two-way player. It was interesting, Coach Ringelberg pointed out that Petrowski in the spring runs track, but as soon as he'd get done with his track workout, he'd come in and lift along with Sam Streeter. Very dedicated, real team leaders.
3 receivers to the near side. 1st and 10, under 2 minutes to play. Bartlett going to scramble, try and buy some time. Comes back near side, completes to Fauché. Good open field tackle here on the near side. Tyler Arthur, sophomore outside linebacker, stepping up for the open field tackle.
Right,
and Greenfield going to have to take their final timeout here. Again, those 2 early timeouts in the first drive to start this 3rd quarter have come back to haunt Greenfield as they take their final timeout with 1:40 to play.
Right, and we talked at the outset of the game about these sophomores having to continue to improve, and we've seen Travis Seidler, Anthony Vakula, Nate Valcarcel playing well.
Well, Keith Ringelberg facing a 2nd and 1, having to take his final timeout. Head coach John Quinlan looking for Whitnall, giving up their first points this month.
Right.
Here in this 2nd half. They had 4 straight shutouts coming in. Their last points given up prior to tonight was in the final 3 minutes of their 2nd Week 2 game, I should say, against Milwaukee Lutheran.
Yeah, Milwaukee Lutheran, hung that 1 defeat on Greenfield.
So Greenfield out of timeouts, 2nd and 1 from their own 44. 3 receivers to the right side for Bartlett. Boyko the single back. Falcons will rush 4. They're going to go for it now. They got a man out there. He's open. Goes up and makes the catch and out of bounds. Zach Fauché with the reception near the 22-yard line. A 22, make it a 32-yard pickup and a 1st down.
Through the season, Zach's been averaging 24 yards per catch. Some big catches. That one came at a critical juncture for Greenfield.
Fresh set of downs. Clock stopped because Fauché was able to get out of bounds. Minute 36 to go. They trail by 4. Again, Bartlett wants to put it up. Comes back and thrown behind the receiver. Had a man there, just threw it behind him. And Bartlett knew it. Clock stopped, minute 32 remaining.
On the year, Marion is over 50% throwing the ball. Threw his 2nd interception of the year tonight. But I think he's been equally dangerous with his feet tonight, and this could be a big factor here at the end of the game.
They'll come back with Twins here, make a trips here to the near side on 2nd down and 10. Bartlett able to get away. Bartlett going to be tackled inside the 20-yard line, inbounds, so the clock rolling. Again, Greenfield out of timeouts. A gain of 3 sets up 3rd and 7. And Greenfield taking a long time here to get this play call.
Going back into the huddle.
Rosario split right, 3 receivers here to the near side on 3rd and 7, under a minute to go. Bartlett looking left all the way, puts it up in triple coverage. It's knocked away, incomplete. Was looking for Christian Bratcher in triple coverage that time, and Miller nearly got his 2nd pick of the night.
Right. Marion really throws that high arching type of pass. He's counting on his receivers to go up.
He hit like 2 or 3 in a row in practice on Monday when we were there.
Right.
Working on that same route. Well, we come down to 4th and 7. Ball at the Falcon 19-yard line with 51 seconds to go. Again, trips to the near side. Rosario, the single receiver right. Boyko in the backfield as Bartlett going to throw on 4th down. Comes back near side, catch is made at the 12. Let's see where they mark him. Forward progress at the 12-yard line. Bratcher with the catch. Let's see where they mark it. Inside the 12, it looks like enough for a Briggs, Bryan and Stratton 1st down. One more look here. His foot was at the 12-yard line. Flores able to make the tackle. They'll give him the 1st down. Clock rolling here. 35 seconds to play. Trips to the right side.
Whitnall's late getting their defenders over to that side of the field.
Bartlett going to run the draw. Bartlett going to be stopped short. I don't know if they got enough time here. They got to get up and get to the line. Clock rolling. 16 seconds to play. We'll try and clock it here. Let's see. And they do clock it with 8.5 seconds to go. So we got a chance here for Greenfield to take a shot.
Well, I think the biggest danger here is if he is able to get out from the contain and scramble into the end zone. Obviously, you almost need to have somebody spying on Bartlett to make sure he can't get into the end zone on a scramble.
And again, they had to take those 2 timeouts on that first drive to start this 3rd quarter. So they burned 2 quick ones. They get to the line quickly here. Twins either side. 8 seconds to go. 3rd and 5 for the Hawks. Bartlett has some time. Bartlett got to get rid of it. Puts it up for grabs. Knocked away. Incomplete. Clock showing zeros. The Falcons survive. The Whitnall Falcons get to 6-0 in the league, 7-0 overall, as they turn back Greenfield on the final play of the game.
Well, Omarion Bartlett bought them a lot of time and almost was able to pull it out right here at the end.
Little crossing route in the end zone. Was looking for Petrosky. Tough to tell. There were 3 players back there. Might have been, that'd be Madison out there. Maybe Xander Madison out there, 23.
Xander Madison.
One more look. And Flores out there, Stephen Flores out there along with Miller. So the Whitnall Falcons stay undefeated. They go to 7-0 on the year, 6-0 in Woodland East. 17-13 your final tonight from Falcon Field. We'll be back with our postgame right after this. The Whitnall Falcons remain undefeated tonight. They had to turn back Greenfield on the final play of the game as Whitnall wins 17-13, snapping a 4-game losing streak to the Greenfield Hustlin' Hawks. Let's head downstairs. Let's head down to Mike.
U.S. Army player of the game, quarterback. Man, well done. Young man, that was a good game. Thursday Night Lights, we love games like this. We're relaxed. You guys having some fun. That last touchdown, man, looked like you got a shot out of a cannon.
I just had the line made a great block, and I found the hole, and it was there. Our receiver's been blocking great all year, making that outside perfect. I just want to thank the whole offensive line, the whole offense, for the great blocking there.
Yeah, that's, smart quarterbacks always thank their linemen. Well done on that. So 7-0 kind of put them out of the picture now. That's a big game for your boys. Did you have an idea early in the season you guys could be at this point 7-0?
Yes. I believe all the way we could have been 7-0 at this point, and I believe we were the only ones that believe that. I believe we could go win this conference 8-0. We're gonna win next week.
Man, that's awesome. Sergeant Williams, he is our U.S. Army player of the game.
Oh, that's a great game, young man. On behalf of the United States Army, I would like to say congratulations and good job, Whitnall. That's a good game.
Back to you, boys.
So our player of the game tonight, brought to you by the United States Army, goes to Jake Flores. Flores tonight 5 for 11, 61 yards, threw a touchdown pass. And that one's coming up right here. This is his scramble here, but this is the touchdown pass on the slant route.
Right to his cousin.
Right to his cousin, Stephen Flores. And then the big run here in this second half. Had the big run, the 32-yard run, 10 rushes for 77 yards and a touchdown. Jake Flores is our U.S. Army player of the game, brought to you by the United States Army. Army Strong. (17-13) the final tonight. Whitnall over Greenfield. Let's head down to the sideline for our winner's trophy presentation, brought to you by Rudig Trophies. When you think trophies, think Rudig Trophies. Once again, here's Mike.
So, man, not bad on senior night, Coach. Not bad on senior night. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a heck of a ball game. As we always say, when Greenfield and Whitnall get together, you just kind of throw the records out of the way. It's always just a barn burner, and tonight was no exception.
Coach, during the game, middle of the third quarter, we chatted a little bit. And you said, I don't think we're not getting our stuff done quite like we normally do. And I said, Coach, if you win this thing, a win's a win. Got to feel good now as far as where you are in this conference, ready to take this thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely wasn't the best game we played all year, but give Greenfield a lot of credit with that. They had a lot to do with that. They played a heck of a ball game. But yes, a win's a win at this point. 7-0 sounds very sweet.
So you take care of your business. We'll see you again. You know that.
We sure hope so. We'll hopefully be right back here in 2 weeks.
You bet. Congratulations, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Great.
Yeah, it's a good win.
Yes, sir. Great win.
Senior night. Back to you, boys.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Whitnall, we'll see them in 2 weeks. They will be in the Woodland Conference Championship game right here on My 24. 17-13 the final tonight. Back with a final word from Falcon Field right after this. Whitnall Falcons survived to go to 7-0 on the year as they knock off the Greenfield Hawks tonight by a final of 17-13. A lot of big plays tonight, but really it comes down to that final play, 3rd and 5 from the 7-yard line.
You don't make the stop, Greenfield walks out of here with the win.
Bartlett left scrambling, and then finally threw it into traffic. Flores able to knock it away as time expired. That is our play of the game, brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. Falcons snap a 4-game losing skid to Greenfield tonight, 17-13, giving up their first points in the month of September. We will see them in 2 weeks in the championship game.
More than likely, unless something really turns goofy, they'll be playing New Berlin Eisenhower for the Woodland title.
Well, next week's game features Milwaukee City Conference matchup. Bayview will take on Riverside. We'll be with you at South Stadium next Thursday night. It starts at 6:30 with our Window Depot of Milwaukee pregame show, followed by the kickoff at 7. And again, don't forget, tonight's exciting game will be rebroadcast Sunday night at 7 right here on My 24. My thanks to Brian Kelly, our spotter up in the booth tonight. Tom Swiddle doing our stats once again. For Mike McGivern and Kara down on the sidelines, and Terry Kelly, my color commentator, John Weiser, and our My 24 crew saying good night from Whitnall High School. The Falcons over Greenfield, 17-13.
U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24 is brought to you by U.S. Cellular, in the middle of anywhere. Northwest Surgery Center, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Menards, and by the Big 920. Additional support has been provided by the U.S. Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, Sweetwater, Gruber Law Offices, and Bryant and Stratton College Athletics.